listening or watching Radio Afinju. The time is 6 p.m.
Ẹ bá mi pè o. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Lórí WhatsApp. Àfínjú. Instagram. Àfínjú. Facebook. Àfínjú. Lórí X. Àfínjú. Lórí YouTube. Àfínjú. Lórí TikTok. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Ẹ bá mi pè o. Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ 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 Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú.
Stay informed with news on Radio Afinju.
First, a look at the highlights. All Kebbi PDP senators formally defect to APC. First white South Africans arrive in United States as Trump claims they face discrimination. Musk joins Trump at VIP launch in Saudi Arabia, seeking billion-dollar deals. Good evening and welcome to the World News on Radio Afinju. My name is Tolulope Awoyale. The news in detail. The three senators from Kebbi State, Senator Adamu Aliero from Kebbi Central, Yaya Abdullahi, Kebbi North, and Garba Maidoki from Kebbi South, have officially defected from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressive Congress (APC) on the floor of the Senate. They are the latest lawmakers to dump the PDP for the APC, following a wave of defection that has hit the party. The defection of Aliero, Abdullahi, and Maidoki brings the number of senators on the platform of the APC in the 10th Senate to 68, while the PDP dropped to 30 members from 33. In the current composition of the Nigerian Senate, the All Progressive Congress leads with 68 members, followed by the People's Democratic Party, which holds 30 seats. Other political parties represented include the Labour Party with 5 senators, the Social Democratic Party with 2, while the New Nigerian People's Party and the All Progressive Grand Alliance have 1 senator each. Members of the Osun State House of Assembly have unanimously passed a vote of confidence endorsing Governor Ademola Adeleke for a second term ahead of the 2026 gubernatorial election in the state. The motion of the vote of confidence was initiated by Adewumi Adeyemi, representing the Obokun State constituency, and seconded by Taufik Olaiwola from the Ede South State constituency. The endorsement was made during a plenary session where the 26-member assembly, comprised of 26 members from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and 1 from the All Progressive Congress (APC), expressed their full support for the governor. Presiding over the session, Speaker Adewale Egbedun praised the governor's achievement in celebration of his 65th birthday and commended him for his dedication and to the development of Osun State, highlighting his impactful governance and commitments to his 5-point agenda. The speaker emphasized that the lawmakers, as representatives of the people, took pride in governor's leadership and urged him to continue striving for even greater accomplishments. Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State has approved the disbursement of vehicles to primary and secondary school teachers in the state under a special loan scheme. According to a statement from the governor's spokesperson, Sunusi Baturi, the initiative will be funded with 200 million naira as a part of a broader agenda to improve the welfare of the public school teachers. The announcement was made during an official flag-off of instructional material distribution to public schools. Governor Yusuf described teachers as the foundation of a national development and reiterated his administration's commitment to supporting them through various welfare and infrastructure programs. He also revealed that the distribution of vehicles is just one of several teacher-centered policies under his education reform plan. Gunmen suspected to be kidnappers have abducted chairman of the All Progressive Congress in Ward 5, Awoyale local government area of Ondo State, Nelson Adepoyigi, while going on his farm along Ifonwo Highway. Ondo Police spokesperson Anyolade Olushola, who confirmed the abduction, said a manhunt has been launched to ensure release of the victim. According to him, the chairman of the APC Ward 5 was kidnapped at the entrance of his farm along Ifon-Owo Road. He added that the receipt of the report, the DPO Ifon, is in collaboration with the hunters, local vigilantes, and the Nigerian Army personnel have launched a manhunt for the suspect. Away from Nigeria, a group of 59 white South Africans have arrived in the United States where they are to be granted refugee status. President Donald Trump has said the refugee application for the country's Afrikaner minority may be expedited as they were victims of racial discrimination. The South African government said the group were not suffering any such precaution that will merit refugee status. Reports said the group of white South Africans who landed at Dulles Airport near Washington, D.C., received a warm welcome from the United States authorities. Some held young children and waved small American flags in the arrival, adorned with red, white, and blue balloons on the walls. In Asia, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the country will respond strongly to what he described as a future terrorist attack after 4 days of military exchange with neighboring Pakistan. Modi said it is not an era of war and not an era of terror. In his first public address since the day of intense shelling and aerial incursions carried out by both sides began. These followed a militant attack in Indian-administered Kashmir that killed 26 people, for which India blamed a Pakistan-based group. Islamabad has strongly denied backing the group in question. The U.S. brokered ceasefire agreed between the nuclear-armed neighbors at the weekend appears to have held so far as both nations says they remain vigilant. His comments came after Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif on Saturday said that his country has acted responsible state. Still in Asia, families of the 72 victims from the Jeju airplane that crashed on December 29th have filed a criminal complaint against 15 people, including South Korean government officials and airline safety representatives. It was gathered that they were initiating the legal action against officials, including Transport Minister Park Sung-woo, alleging negligence in managing safety risk as well as violation of the Aviation Safety Act. The crash at South Korea's Muan Airport killed 179 people, the deadliest air disaster on the country's soil. The statement released by lawyers of the bereaved family said a more thorough investigation was needed on the decision to attempt a return to land immediately after the bird strike, on the maintenance of aircraft engine, and on whether the construction of a runway embankment was appropriate. Recall the Jeju Air Boeing 737-800 with a short Muan Airport runway as it made an emergency belly landing and crashed into the embankment containing navigation equipment known as localizers, killing about 2 of the 181 passengers and crew members on board. In Europe, police have arrested 4 members of a radical group seeking to replace the modern German state in the latest operation against a far-right movement flagged as potential threat to democracy. The raid against the Kingdom of Germany came after the Interior Ministry banned the group, which prosecutors said had established shadow institutions for a new state in line with far-right ideology known as the Reichsbürger movement. The prosecutors said one of the 4 people arrested was the kingdom's self-declared sovereign. Germany's domestic intelligence service put the border Reichsbürger movement under observation in 2016 after one of its members shot dead a policeman during a raid at his home. Scrutiny of the movement, which covers a number of conspiratorial theories questioning the legitimacy of the modern German state, intensified in December 2022 when the authorities thwarted advanced plan for an armed coup. Its adherents believe that the German democracy is a legitimate facade and that they were citizens of a monarchy which they maintain endured after Germany's defeat in World War I despite its formal abolition. A Paris court found actor Gerard Depardieu guilty of sexual assaulting 2 women on a film set and handed him an 18-month suspended sentence, with the judge saying he appeared not to have grasped the traumatic impact of his behavior. In the highest profile of #MeToo case to come before judges in France, Depardieu repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. His lawyer said he would appeal to the court's decision. Depardieu, 76 years old, was a towering figure in French cinema, starring in more than 200 films over 5 decades, including Green Card, Last Metro, and Cyrano de Bergerac. His trial marked a moment for reckoning for the #MeToo protest movement over sexual violence, which has failed to gain the same traction in France as in the United States, although there are signs that social attitudes were changing. One of the 2 plaintiffs, Amélie Kay, a set decorator now aged 54, told the court that the actor had groped her all over her body as he was trapped between her legs and his legs and made explicit sexual comments on the set in 2021. In the Americas, President Donald Trump is joined by Elon Musk and other VIPs in Saudi Arabia during the first major diplomatic trip of his second term. It was learned that the United States president is being hosted by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman at a lavish lunch. Trump is hoping to secure significant new investment in the United States in the 4-day trip to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and UAE. His itinerary notably does not include Israel, with economic issues rather than diplomatic or security concerns. An Israeli airstrike on the emergency department of Nasser Hospital in the southern Gaza has killed a well-known Palestinian photojournalist, Hassan Asli, who has been treated for injuries from a previous Israeli strike, was targeted with what witnesses describe as a drone attack on the hospital's surgical wing. A doctor there confirmed that Asil has been at the hospital for nearly a month after surviving an airstrike on the same facility in April. The Israeli military had previously accused Asli for involvement in the 7th October Hamas attack on Israel. The strike in April killed Asli's colleague Helmi Al-Fakawi and wounded several other journalists. At the time, director of the Hamas-run government media office, Ismail Hatawabta, said Israel's accusation against Asli were false, adding that Asli had no political affiliation. Asli had published dozens of photos and videos documenting the 7th October Hamas assault from inside Israel's territory. Talking sport, former Manchester United sporting director Dan Ashworth is set to be unveiled as the new Football Association head of elite men's and women's development. Ashworth left Manchester United in December, having spent 5 months at Old Trafford, after Ineos hired him from Newcastle United. The 54-year-old was previously at the FA between 2012 and 2018, in charge of England's elite men and women's team, as well as FA education and coaching. Part of Ashworth's new role will be to oversee the development of homegrown coaches. Only 2 current permanent Premier League managers are English, and FA Chief Executive Mark Bulliam recently confirmed that changes are being made to address the issue. It's also expected that Ashworth will oversee the next stage of refurbishment of the St George Park, home to all of England's teams. In tennis, Andy Murray will no longer be working as Novak Djokovic's coach. The decision said to be by mutual agreement, as Murray will not be by Djokovic's side when he chases an 8th Wimbledon title in July. Recall that Djokovic is a 24-time Grand Slam champion, joined forces with Murray in November. Under Murray, the Serb reached the semi-finals of the Australian Open, ultimately retiring injured after losing the first set. The 37-year-old has used a difficult season by his high standards and losing his first match in the 4 of his past 5 tournaments, as well as being beaten in the Miami Open final by 19-year-old Jakob Mensik. Before we go, here again are the highlights. The 3 senators from Kebbi State, Senator Adamu Aliero, Kebbi Central, Yaya Abdullahi, Kebbi North, and Garba Maidoki, Kebbi South, have officially defected from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressives Congress (APC) on the floor of the Senate. Elsewhere, a group of 59 white South Africans have arrived in the United States, where they are to be granted refugee status. In the Americas, President Donald Trump is joined by Elon Musk and other VIPs in Saudi Arabia during the first major diplomatic trip of his second term. That was the world news on Radio Afinju. To view our channel, please follow Radio Afinju on Facebook, X, and YouTube. The news was edited by Stella Adiroti. My name is Tolulope Awoyale. Thanks for listening. Good evening.
That was the world news on Radio Afinju. For the best music,
show me capital business, show me character,